Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare 1-cent coins, because some of these coins are rare among collectors and are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today. We're stepping into the world of one of the most iconic coins ever made in the United States, the Lincoln penny. But not just any Lincoln penny. We're talking about the 1963 Lincoln penny, a small copper coin that millions of people walked past without ever realizing some rare versions could be worth a fortune today. So sit back, listen closely, and enjoy this journey into the secrets hiding behind one of America's most familiar coins. The 1963 Lincoln penny features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood strong for more than a century. On the reverse, the beautiful Lincoln Memorial sits proudly, representing unity and the strength of the nation. Most Americans carried this penny in their pockets at some point, but only a tiny number of these coins contain the kinds of rare errors collectors dream of finding. Let's talk about what makes the 1963 penny so interesting. First, although billions were minted, most entered everyday circulation. They were tossed in jars, dropped on sidewalks, spent at stores, and worn down by years of use. Finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is already special. But the true excitement comes from the minting mistakes, those rare accidents that turned ordinary pennies into rare treasures. One of the most famous errors from this year is the double die obverse. On these pennies, parts of the date, the word liberty, or even in God we trust, appear doubled. This doubling is crisp and obvious, almost like a shadow behind the letters, and collectors know immediately that it's valuable. Another rare error is the off-center strike. These coins show Lincoln's portrait shifted to one side, leaving part of the coin blank. The more dramatic the off-center strike, while still showing the date, the more valuable the penny becomes. It's a mistake you can spot instantly. There are also die cracks, small raised lines that appear when the minting die begins to fracture. Some cracks look like lightning bolts across the portrait or the memorial. These aren't defects to collectors. They're unique fingerprints that make the coin one of kind. A few incredibly rare 1963 pennies were even struck on the wrong planchet, giving them a different color or weight. These oddities are among the scarcest, and when one appears, it becomes a collector's prize immediately. Why do collectors love the 1963 Lincoln penny so much? It's because this coin represents history, tradition, and unexpected value all in one. It's a coin almost everyone has touched, yet only a handful hide secrets that can turn them into small fortunes. The thrill of discovering a rare error on such a familiar coin is what keeps collectors searching through jars, rolls, and old family boxes. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you own a 1963 Lincoln penny with a major minting error in exceptional condition, its value can rise all the way to an incredible $85,000. So check your old collections, dig through your change, and never overlook a simple penny. Your next treasure could be sitting right at the bottom of a jar. Top 2, we're exploring a coin that looks ordinary to most, yet holds a world of hidden value. The 1968 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny in circulation, but for those who know what to look for, this small copper coin can be a rare collector's treasure. So listen carefully, because the 1968 Lincoln penny has secrets you won't want to miss. The 1968 penny features the classic Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, has been a symbol of American history and pride for decades. Millions of these pennies were minted, making them common in circulation. Yet, despite the large numbers, certain coins from this year are extremely rare, especially those with minting errors or in pristine condition. One of the most sought-after varieties is the double die obverse. On these coins, parts of the date, the word liberty, or the phrase in God we trust appear doubled. The doubling is clear and dramatic, giving the letters a shadowed appearance that immediately catches the eye of collectors. A coin with this kind of error becomes much more valuable than its face value. Another exciting error is the off-center strike. These pennies show Lincoln's portrait shifted toward the edge, leaving a portion of the coin blank. The more dramatic the shift, the more rare and desirable the penny becomes. Some off-center coins from 1968 are considered true one-in-a-million finds. Die cracks are another feature that collectors look for. Small raised lines can appear across Lincoln's face or the memorial on the reverse. These cracks occur when the minting die fractures during production. Each die crack is unique, and coins with prominent cracks are highly prized because no two are exactly alike. That a few incredibly rare 1968 pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, giving them unusual coloration or weight. These coins are almost impossible to find and instantly attract collectors' attention when discovered. They are proof that even in a year of mass production, tiny anomalies can create extraordinary value. Collectors are fascinated by the 1968 Lincoln penny because it combines history, artistry, and rarity. It is a coin everyone recognizes, yet only a select few carry the errors or condition that make it exceptional. Holding one is like holding a piece of history and a potential treasure at the same time. Now for the moment every collector has been waiting for. If you have a 1968 Lincoln penny with a significant minting error and in outstanding condition, its value can reach an astonishing $80,000. So check your old coin rolls, jars, and collections carefully. That simple penny in your drawer could be the rare treasure you've been looking for. Top 3, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics, the 1976 Lincoln penny. On the surface, it may look like any ordinary penny, but if you take a closer look, you'll discover a piece of history that could be worth far more than pocket change. Listen closely because what you're about to hear could change the way you look at coins forever. The 1976 Lincoln penny was issued during the United States bicentennial, a year celebrating 200 years of independence. Millions of pennies were minted that year, but among them lie rare treasures that collectors dream about. While most pennies from this era are common, certain 1976 Lincoln pennies carry unique characteristics and minting errors that make them extremely rare and highly sought after. On the obverse, you'll see Abraham Lincoln, the same familiar portrait that has adorned U.S. pennies since 1909. But in 1976, subtle minting errors turned some ordinary pennies into extraordinary collector's items. One of the most coveted varieties is the double die error, where details of Lincoln's profile or inscriptions appear slightly doubled. This happens when the die itself is misaligned during production, creating a unique effect that cannot be replicated. Even minor doubling of the lettering or the rim can make a coin incredibly valuable. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 through 2008. Here, too, rare errors occurred. Some pennies were struck off-center, misaligned, or with unusual metal compositions. These errors are extremely uncommon, and even small differences can transform a regular penny into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. For serious coin collectors, spotting these minute details is like discovering hidden treasure in plain sight. The true value of the 1976 Lincoln penny lies not just in its errors, but also in its condition. Most pennies have circulated for decades, bearing scratches, discoloration, or wear. Coins that survived in pristine, uncirculated condition are exceptionally rare. A 1976 Lincoln penny that remains sharp, clean, and free from damage can command a significant price because it represents a perfect snapshot of American history. Collectors prize these coins for both their aesthetic appeal and their scarcity. Some of the most extraordinary examples are error coins with double dies or unusual minting characteristics. These coins are unique, telling a story about the minting process and the technology of the time. They are not just currency. They are miniature works of art, representing a moment in history when a tiny mistake transformed a simple penny into a treasure. Serious collectors search far and wide for these rare coins, often checking old collections, coin rolls, or even loose change in hopes of uncovering a hidden gem. It's incredible to think that a coin so small, something we usually overlook, can carry such immense historical and monetary value. From the doubled inscriptions on Lincoln's bust to the misaligned strikes on the memorial, every tiny imperfection makes a coin unique, increasing its appeal to collectors who understand the thrill of rarity and the beauty of history preserved in metal. Now comes the moment every coin enthusiast dreams about. If you are fortunate enough to own a 1976 Lincoln penny in flawless, uncirculated condition with one of these rare errors, it could be worth $75,000. That's right, a single penny, seemingly ordinary to most, could be worth $75,000. Imagine that the next time you come across a jar of old change, there could be a fortune waiting to be discovered. So, if you've ever found yourself curious about the coins in your possession, take a closer look. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual details. Each coin tells a story, and some of these stories could be worth a small fortune. This 1976 Lincoln penny is more than just money. It's a piece of history, a collector's prize, and a reminder that treasure can be hidden in the most unexpected places. Top for we're uncovering a remarkable piece of American numismatic history, the 1977 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like a simple penny you can find in your pocket or a jar of change, but this small coin hides a fascinating story that could make it incredibly valuable. Stay tuned, because what you're about to learn could change the way you see every penny. The 1977 Lincoln penny was minted during a time when the United States was continuing its tradition of honoring Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, whose image has graced pennies since 1909. While millions of these pennies were produced, certain coins from this year have become legendary among collectors due to their rarity, condition, and unusual minting errors. These small anomalies can transform a common coin into a collector's dream. That on the front of the coin, you'll see Lincoln's iconic profile. But some 1977 pennies have what collectors call a double die error. This is where letters or design elements appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the minting process. Even subtle doubling of the date or inscriptions can make a coin extremely desirable. These details might be hard to spot with the naked eye, but for collectors, they are worth their weight in gold, or, in this case, much more than a penny's face value. Turn the coin over, and you'll find the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. While it looks familiar, some pennies were struck slightly off-center or with uneven edges. Certain minting errors caused some coins to have extra metal flow or variations in lettering, making them one-of-a-kind pieces. Coins with these imperfections are highly sought after because they represent a rare combination of history, craftsmanship, and accident, what collectors often call happy mistakes. The rarity of the 1977 Lincoln penny is amplified by its condition. Most pennies have been in circulation for decades, showing wear, scratches, or discoloration. Coins that survived uncirculated and in pristine condition are extremely rare. A penny with sharp details, clear lettering, and no signs of handling becomes a prized possession because it captures a perfect snapshot of American history frozen in metal. Serious collectors search high and low for these gems, often inspecting rolls of coins, old collections, and even forgotten change. The most extraordinary examples of the 1977 Lincoln penny are the error coins with doubled dies, off-center strikes, or unusual metal variations. These coins are not just currency, they are miniature historical artifacts. Each one tells a story about the minting process and a time when a tiny flaw could create a coin of immense rarity and value. Collectors thrill at the hunt, knowing that even a small error can make a penny a treasure unlike any other. Now comes the part every coin lover waits for, the value reveal. If you are fortunate enough to own a 1977 Lincoln penny in flawless, uncirculated condition with one of these rare errors, it could be worth $75,000. Imagine that, a single penny, seemingly ordinary, holding a fortune in its details. So, the next time you find an old coin or check your collection, look carefully. Inspect the date, the lettering, and the edges. What seems like an everyday penny could be hiding an incredible secret, waiting to be discovered by a sharp-eyed collector like you. This coin isn't just money. It's a piece of history, a collector's treasure, and a reminder that the smallest items can sometimes hold the greatest value. Top 5, we're diving into the fascinating world of one of America's most iconic coins, the 1979 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like a simple penny you find in your pocket or a jar of change, but hidden within this small piece of history are secrets that could make it incredibly valuable. Listen carefully, because what you're about to discover could change how you look at coins forever. The 1979 Lincoln penny was minted during a time when the United States continued to honor Abraham Lincoln, whose image has appeared on pennies since 1909. While millions of these pennies were produced, a select few stand out because of their rarity, condition, and unusual minting errors. These tiny anomalies can transform an ordinary penny into a highly prized collector's item. On the front, you'll see Lincoln's familiar profile. But some 1979 pennies have what collectors call double die errors. This occurs when the coin is struck twice with a slight misalignment, creating a doubling effect on Lincoln's profile or the inscriptions. Even subtle doubling of the date or lettering can make a coin exceptionally valuable. For collectors, spotting these details is like finding a hidden treasure, something ordinary that becomes extraordinary with just a small flaw. Turning the coin over, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, familiar to anyone who has seen a penny. Yet, some coins were struck slightly off-center, had extra metal flow, or contained unusual die variations. These errors make each coin unique. In the world of coin collecting, mistakes like these are celebrated because they are rare and impossible to duplicate. Coins with these characteristics can turn a simple piece of change into a collector's dream. The 1979 Lincoln penny's true value comes from its rarity and condition. Most pennies from this year were circulated for decades, accumulating scratches, discoloration, and wear. Coins that survived in pristine, uncirculated condition are exceptionally rare. A coin with sharp details, clear inscriptions, and no signs of handling becomes a treasure because it preserves a perfect piece of American history. Serious collectors spend years hunting for these coins, often inspecting rolls of coins, old collections, or even forgotten jars of change in hopes of finding a gem. The most remarkable 1979 Lincoln pennies are the rare error coins with double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual metal variations. These coins are not just currency, they are miniature historical artifacts. Each one tells a story about the minting process and a time when a tiny flaw could transform an ordinary penny into something extraordinary. Collectors prize these coins for both their rarity and the thrill of discovering them, knowing that even the smallest error can make a coin highly valuable. Now comes the moment every coin enthusiast dreams of, the value reveal. If you are fortunate enough to own a 1979 Lincoln penny in flawless, uncirculated condition with one of these rare errors, it could be worth $72,000. That's right. A single penny, seemingly ordinary to most, can hold a fortune in its details. So, the next time you stumble across an old penny or inspect your coin collection, look closely. Examine the date, lettering, and edges. What appears to be everyday change could be hiding an incredible secret, waiting for a keen-eyed collector to uncover. This coin is more than money. It's a piece of history, a collector's treasure, and a reminder that even the smallest coins can hold the greatest surprises. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more hidden treasures and extraordinary finds. Keep hunting, stay curious, and remember, the 1979 Lincoln penny could be far more valuable than you ever imagined.